Hello, wild ones. This is Cole Adams, and I was watching Willow Wanders on YouTube, and she was showing a creative whispers project, and you had to guess the prompt. It's kind of fun. It's like four artists got together and said one thought of a prompt and did a video, the other one watched the video, the other one watched the video, the other one watched the video, and if you watch all four, you try to get an idea of what the prompt or what the secret kind of prompt was. So I thought I understood the assignment. I'm going to do a headstand video and do an art journaling page based on the prompt that I think it is. And if you want to play along, please feel free to here on YouTube or on Instagram. Just hashtag it with Creative Whispers. Super exciting. If you are liking this content, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for those of you who have liked and subscribed and commented. I just always appreciate it, and I would love to hear what you think the prompt is. This is a handmade journal I worked on that is bound in a way where each individual spread can fully open, and the binding is in between the pages. Now I'm looking through my scrap basket. These are some Ecoprinted papers, tea bag papers, wet strength tissue. That is a photocopy of one of my embroidery pieces. These are tea bag. That's some rust dyed paper. And then that is a photocopy of some buttons and a vintage photo. So the button one I made by I brought my button collection to the copy store and literally put them all in the glass and took lots and lots of color copies of them. And I need to do that again because I'm almost out of that paper. But I kind of love making handmade or unique scrapbooking type paper. And anytime you have collections of little things like dice or buttons or kids' toys are really fun to copy. So I strongly recommend that. I'm going to make a little pouch or a little flap because I want to be able to take the tag. I'm kind of going to make the vintage photo, I think, a tag at this point. And I wanted to be able to take it in and out because I love to look at things really close. So I think that interactivity is really fun. Just auditioning some papers for behind. I like the brown of all the eco dye stuff, but I always need a little pop of color. So just trying stuff out. I really like that button paper and want to include it. And this is book paper with some gouache dotted over the top. I think I'm going to go with that. Oh, no, I'm making some decisions. I decided it needed a little tab as well. This book is all lots of different levels of paper, all different size papers, so adding little extra tags and stuff totally work in this setup. This is my way I like to do the oxide kind of swipe is I hook one of those little pads from, although it just fell off, which is hilarious. I hook one of those little pads to a spool, a sewing spool, and the pads come right next to the ink oxides by Distress Oxide, by Tim Holtz. There's little like Distress Oxide pads and little holders, and I just decided a spool would work just as well. So I have quite a few of those stashed away on my desk. And I'm using a wall trimmer as a gluing spreader, and the glue I'm using is matte medium because it's just what I have for my collage work. These are some vintage ribbons I have, so I'm going to put a little hole through the vintage photo and add a little tassel. Doing that, and then I think she'll fit in there perfect. I'm going to wrap that around to the back, that little bit of paper, and this paper I keep moving back and forth is a blotter paper. I just work on them till they get nice and beautiful, and then end up putting them in a piece as well. This is Caran crayon to give it a little bit more texture and color. I'm dotting some of that tealy color around since I have some of it on the page. I wanted it to be a little bit more integrated. And this is just water. Caran is water reactive. These are my gouache palette, and I'm going to mix up a little like lavender color because I think that green got a little too intense, so I want to push it back a little bit. So I'm going to do that with some lavender. I really like having some of the collage layers painted over so that it has this like, it really goes into the page. And I find that a gouache, unlike a watercolor, it has a little bit more opacity, so you can kind of paint in, and it kind of pushes some of the collage together or melds it together in a way that's really fun. Ooh, I'm liking that. I like that little painterly effect on top of collage, and it matches what's going on in that book paper piece too. I did stop and dry it for quite a while, so it's completely dry now. And this little lace extension, I remembered that I had ripped this page pretty drastically to make it the right size for a close enough size for the book. So I wanted to add a little extension so you got to see a little bit of her through the lace. This is a quote by Georgia O'Keeffe. I'm just putting on to the front of that page. I kind of feel like all of that needed to be addressed. I was going to put this on the back of her, but I kind of love it here before you see her, and then you open it up and it looks like someone who maybe she didn't choose marriage, maybe she chose to adventure. I think that might be an atlas in front of her. It's very hard to tell, but she seems like she's dreaming of big adventures in a big wide world. That first pen was a Sharpie Create paint marker, and this is a Zig Writer to just give it a little bit more texture and darken it up a bit. And that tag next to it is a 3x5 card that I write quotes on, so if I ever need a quick quote for my book, I just always have a side area that just has a bunch of different quotes ready to go, and this one seemed to really fit this moment, this page. And like preparing for my eventual need to stop and pull out my phone and look for a quote, I would much rather pull out a piece of ephemera and look for a quote. I'm using those Sharpie Creates to just add a little bit of color to this page as well. And I do that a couple times, but it's not really obvious here. I like to take and make some dot marks and then go over it in a few different colors. And I think I go over a few more colors. I decided, like, what other colors are back there? That is green because there's green on the opposite page. And then I think the lace is going to go in right there. And I had run out of Fabri-Tac, so I ended up Fabri-Tacking it a little bit later. But at one point, it'll jump to it being glued in. I really like those little vintage ribbons sticking out of the top of the book. I think that's going to be really cool. So I think it's not glued in yet. I'm going to do it. And then just trying it out and making sure. Yep. So this is the end. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you maybe got an understanding of what the prompt might have been, as far as I understand. Go out and watch the rest of the playlist. I hope to be able to hook to it below. And if you want to Google it or YouTube Google it, it's Creative Whispers, and it should come up. And it's kind of a fun challenge. I'm really excited about it. If you've liked or liked this content, please like and subscribe. And I try to post about once a week. Take care, and take care of yourself. Take care of this earth, and don't forget to take care of each other.